Hello there, and welcome to the first in a series where I talk about the latest Star Wars project on Disney Plus, Obi Wan Kenobi. I'm not sure if I'm gonna cover the whole series like this, so let me know in the comments section if you'd like me to talk about the whole series. But before we get into this particular video, I'd just like to say, if you haven't already, I'd greatly appreciate it if you support the channel by hitting subscribe, turning on notifications, liking, commenting, and you can find and follow me on Twitter here. And without further ado, here are my thoughts on the first two episodes. For a bit of background, compared to Doctor Who, I'm probably more of a casual fan of Star Wars. I've seen all of the Skywalker saga, and I've occasionally looked into some of the expanded media, but for the most part it's just the main films that I'm sort of interested in. I will hopefully at some point cover my thoughts on each of the films and probably do a ranking video, so if you'd like to see that, let me know. But for now, I'm not going to go too much into my specific thoughts on elements like the prequels, the sequels, and the original saga, unless it's relevant to the episodes. Episode 1 establishes what Obi Wan Kenobi has been doing since the events of Revenge of the Sith and how he leads his life, conflicting with Owen Lars over how Luke should be raised and whether or not he should become a Jedi due to what happened with Anakin, while other Jedi seek Obi-Wan's support as they are hunted down by the Empire. The first positive I have to give, obviously, Ewan McGregor is once again doing a great job as Obi-Wan Kenobi. While the acting for quite a few people in the prequels wasn't great, he was definitely one of the standouts, and I'm glad he was given an opportunity to have this character in a setting with better direction and therefore a better opportunity to show off his great performance. From the first time we hear him speak in episode 1, it just felt like Obi-Wan Kenobi. I really like the moments when he's interacting with people like Owen, Luke's uncle, and the Jawa friend that he has. I thought that scene was quite funny. I do like Obi-Wan as a character, and I was glad to see that Ewan McGregor was reprising his role, and that was sort of like my main motivation. There are some aspects which I knew I wasn't going to appreciate, like the characters hunting him. I know that they are from other pieces of Star Wars media, but I haven't, as I said, haven't seen that or read it, so I was somewhat lost. Well, not so much lost, but didn't really have the same appreciation as a much bigger fan would have had during those scenes. A character that I was surprised to see, but really glad that they were there, was a young Princess Leia. I wasn't expecting the Organas to appear in this show, but the fact they are is really exciting. I wasn't really interested in seeing Solo because I didn't think Han Solo's origin was all that interesting, especially given that a lot of his character development actually happens in the films. So seeing his backstory really wasn't compelling. But what I really wanted to see was an origin for Princess Leia, and I'm glad that we're sort of getting that. I was curious how Leia's story was going to tie in with Obi-Wan Kenobi, but I think they did a pretty good job with the inciting main plot of the series, being that Leia is kidnapped and Obi-Wan is assigned to rescue her. Although it turns out that this was indeed the plan by the kidnappers in order to draw him out. The second episode focuses on the first step of Obi-Wan's mission to try and find Leia, going undercover in the streets of an alien world and coming across a con artist claiming to be a Jedi, who he uses to help him on his mission. I think the show does a pretty good job tying into A New Hope, as that film does give the impression that Leia at least had some sort of relationship or was somewhat aware of Obi Wan Kenobi. Unfortunately, Obi Wan Kenobi is captured by the mercenaries sent out by the Empire and has to find a way to escape. There was a nice little cameo in the second episode, which I won't spoil, but I think it's a pretty good metaphor for something, and once you see it, I reckon you'll get what I mean. But that wraps up my thoughts on the first 2 episodes. Overall, a pretty good start, and I'm looking forward to seeing where it's going. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.